Stay hydrated, kids. Hello everyone, welcome back to Becca's Book Nook. Today I'm going to be doing the History of My Bookshelf challenge. This challenge was made by Emma Books about a year ago, and I've been wanting to do it for as long as it's been out, so I decided that now that I finally have a channel, I can do it for you guys. I believe the way that Emma made it was so that it was similar to my Do You Have That Trope challenge, where I can only use one book from a series once. Like, I don't want to be using Harry Potter for multiple of these unless I absolutely have to, so I am going to try and stick to that rule. I feel like it's more fun that way, and it just adds more of like a diverse sort of palette of books. I wrote the questions down as soon as I watched the video when it came out, so I haven't looked at these questions in about a year, so I really have no clue what's going to be coming. So it's gonna be like I'm seeing them for the first time. I'm really excited to do this challenge for you guys, so I think I just want to jump right into it. I have the questions on my laptop, which is just right behind my phone, so I'm just gonna be reading off of them here. And the first question is, what is the oldest book on your shelf? The oldest book on my shelf is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. As you can see, this book has been very loved. I believe I got it in like the 4th grade maybe, so I want to say I was like 10 or 11 years old when I got it. The next question is, what is a book that you read in 2015? I'm going to have to go with Winter by Marissa Meyer. I know for a fact that I was reading this in December of 2015. I could have also picked Twilight for this, but I decided not to. I know I read them both at the same time. I vividly remember Snapchatting my friend in grade 9 thinking that everyone was gonna die, and I was just in tears reading this book. The next question is, what is a book that you read in 2016? 2016 for me was my 10th grade, so I'm trying to think of what I read in the 10th grade. I know for a fact that I read Lord of Shadows in 2016, but I'm not sure if I want to use the Dark Artifices so early. Was I still reading Twilight in 2016? Oh. I'm pretty sure I read Me Before You in grade 10. So in 2016, I did read Me Before You in English class for my independent novel study. I had to write an essay on it, and I just remember that. So yes, Me Before You is my answer for a book that I read in 2016. The next question is, what is a book that you read in 2017? And I know that was grade 11, so I'm really trying to think about a book that I read in grade 11. And I think that I might have to use The Dark Artifices up, because I definitely read Lord of Shadows in 2017. I did just have a little bit of a panic thinking that this didn't come out in 2017, but I checked and it did. So yes, 2017 I read Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, the second book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. The next question is, what is a book that you read in 2018? That was grade 12 for me. So the only book that I can think of right now that I read in grade 12, other than a Cassie Clare book, is Call Me By Your Name. I read it in the summer. Next up is a book that I read in 2019, so that was also grade 12, but like also first year of university. So I'm trying to think of what I read first year university. first year of university and 2019, I read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells for my English class. Next up is what is a book that you read in 2020, and that was just this past year, obviously. I read a bunch of books, like literally a million, but I'm gonna go with The Hidden Oracle, just because I feel like I won't have to use this book for any other questions. I hope I don't regret that later. But yeah, I read the first 3 books in the Trials of Apollo series just this past year. Question number 8 is what is a book that you have read so far in 2021? And the book that I'm going to use for this is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I just read this book last month in March and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is going to be my pick. Moving away from years, I'm going to go into question number 9, which is what is a book that you've read more than once? And what is a book that I have read more than once? I've read a bunch of books more than once, but I'm trying to decide what I want to pick for this.
Book that you've read more than once.
All of my Cassie Clare books, so maybe I'll go with a different series up top. Okay, I'm really hoping I don't regret this, but I'm gonna go with City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and that's me using my Mortal Instruments card. I really hope I don't regret that. But yes, I just reread this whole series in 2020, early 2021, and yeah, let's hope I don't regret that and need to use a book from the Mortal Instruments later on. If I do, I'll try and not, but I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the next question is name a book that you waited for over a year to be published. So for this one, I'm going to use my The Last Hours card and say Chain of Gold. I had been waiting several years after reading The Infernal Devices and The Mortal Instruments for these books to come out because I knew that Cassie wanted to write a book series about Will and Tessa's kids, and I literally just sat in anticipation for years waiting for this book to come out until it finally did. The next question is, what is a book that you have read on vacation or away from home? I literally could use 1,000 examples for this question, but let me think of which one I want to use here. I take a bunch of books with me on vacation, so I have a bunch of different answers that I could use for this. I think the one I want is right under this computer, so give me a second. Okay, so the answer I'm gonna give for this book is Anne of Green Gables. Me and my mom read this book together when we were in Cuba, I believe. One of my March break trips, I might have been in Florida, but we read it together at the same time, and I just remember, I think I was in grade 7 maybe. I remember just really enjoying it, and reading it with my mom was awesome because we could talk about it together at the same time, and yeah, that's one of my favorite vacation memories. The next question is, what is a book that you got someplace special? This could mean anything other than your local bookstore or online. I have a really good answer for this one, and it is my copy of Jane Eyre, which I got at a Barnes & Noble in the States when I was on March break in Florida. I remember seeing the cover and thinking that I literally could not get a book anywhere near this pretty at my local bookstore, but now I found almost all of them here in Canada. But yeah, this book has just sort of always meant a lot to me because it's so pretty, and the back has a quote on it that I just really resonate with. So yeah, this book is important to me. Question 13 is, what is a book that made you cry? If you've been watching my channel for since I've been putting videos out, you know that literally every book makes me cry pretty much. But the one that comes to mind right now is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I cried for a good half of this book. It just made me really emotional, and I should have expected the tears to be coming because I know the story of the Queen of Hearts. But yeah, it just really hurt me unexpectedly somehow, and that's just the main one that I think of at this moment. Question 14 is, what is a book that you read in one sitting? I'm gonna go ahead and pick Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I sat outside on one of my Adirondack chairs last summer and just read this entire book, and then came inside and I was like burnt. My parents were like blown away that I read it all. But yeah, it was a good day. I literally had nothing better to do than read all day, so it was like a dream. Question 15 is, what is a book that was a gift? I have to think about this one because I get a lot of my books for Christmas and my birthday. So let me think. Go with Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella was passed down to me and my mom as a gift from my aunt, who realized that her and I sort of like the same style of books. So yeah, a very kind gift. Wasn't a huge fan of the book, unfortunately, but I always love receiving books as gifts. Okay, so number 16 is, what is a book that you read before owning? I read a lot at the library in my early high school years, so let me, So The Revenge of Seven by Pittacus Lore is, I think, the 5th book in the Lorien Legacies, like the I Am Number 4 series. I read all of these at my local library and then found them all at secondhand stores to fill up my bookshelf, and I loved this series, and I have very fond memories of going to the library and picking up the next book to read in the summer. Number 17 is a book that you lent to someone else. I have lent a lot of my books to other people. Once again, I really wish that I could use Harry Potter, but I don't want to use it quite yet, just in case. So let me think of a book that I've lent to someone else. I just lent Six of Crows to my mom to read. She loved it. I wanted to make sure she read those and Shadow and Bone before the show comes out so that I have someone to watch it with. So yeah, I lent her all of those books, but we're just gonna say Six of Crows. Question 18 is a book that has been damaged. Oh, I have the perfect one for this. Yeah, it's this one. My mom also read all of my Throne of Glass books, and she decided to be reading Eyre Fire while she ate a yellow frosting cupcake that I brought home from work one day, and she just got it all over the spine. Well, not the spine, but the pages, and yeah, I teased her about it mercilessly. But I told her that's just the pages. As long as you didn't get the spine wrecked, I'm totally fine with it. Question 19 is a book that you got on sale or discounted. Too bad I already used Winter because it literally has the $20 sticker on it. I've gotten a lot of books on sale and discounted. Oh, I just got Hush Hush from a secondhand store. I think it was like literally $2, and that's the only reason I got it. I'm not sure if I'm ever actually going to read it, but yeah, I definitely got it on sale / discounted. Question 20 is a book that you read with someone else, like a buddy read or read with a book club. Once again, this would have been a really great opportunity to read, to use Anne of Green Gables, but I already used it. I'm trying to think. Oh, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. My mom and I also read this at the same time when I was in grade 6, and I remember really struggling to get through it. I'm pretty sure this one book took me like 6 months to read because the language was just off for me. I don't know what it was, but I've since reread it and really enjoyed it, and the movie is like my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, Little Women, my mom and I read it together. I think we were also on vacation maybe. Question 21 is a book that you associate with a song. I knew that I saved Twilight for some certain reason. So let me just try and get Breaking Dawn out without causing a scene. It went better than I expected. Breaking Dawn always makes me think of Turning Page by Sleeping at Last. It's from the movie, but it's mainly, it makes me think of the book too. Also, this was on sale at the market. I remember getting it at the market. I could have used it. Anyway, I'm glad I didn't, because this is really the only book that I can think of being associated with a song, and it's one of my favorite songs, so I love thinking about this book and thinking about the song in reverse. I just love it. Question 22 is a book that you associate with a food, and I'm going to have to go with The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. My apologies for the lighting change. I seem to be losing daylight. But I have to pick this book because every day after school of, I think it was grade 8, maybe grade 9, I would come home from school and make myself chocolate chip muffins, like make them, and a orange pico tea with milk and sugar, and I would just sit at the kitchen table and read and eat my probably 3 muffins. And yeah, it was just like literally the best, most easygoing life I ever had before all this university and COVID crap. So yeah, I was just really living the life back then. The next question, number 23, is what is a book that you got years ago but you probably wouldn't read now? I have a pretty good answer for this. I hope it doesn't upset anyone. I have mentioned it before, but my love for the Divergent series has just really fallen off the wagon. I don't feel like I like it anymore. I don't feel like I would want to read it anymore. I just feel like I wouldn't even buy it again. I wouldn't reread it. And it's upsetting because I really did have a deep appreciation for this series. But yeah, I've just really fallen out of it, and it's unfortunate. But number 24 is what is a book that you associate with a certain time in your life? I just realized that I haven't used Harry Potter yet, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna pick this book just because I have a specific memory that goes along with it. So, for several years, I did used to read the Harry Potter series in its entirety every single summer. I really enjoyed doing that because I found new things in all the books every single year that I hadn't seen before, and the whole series just made me so happy, and everything was just so easy. I did this before I had a job in the summer when I just literally could read at a campsite or at my cousin's cottage and just really have like this easygoing, laid back summer where I could just read the books that I wanted to read. So that just really makes me think of easier times. And this book specifically I got at a flea market on a camping trip, and I wanted to buy it even though I already had a copy of the Half-Blood Prince because it's my favorite book. So yeah, these books really just take me back to a easygoing, laid back time in my life before I had the weight of expectations and work reality of being an adult pressed down on me. So the second last question, number 25, is what is a book that you used to like but don't anymore? And this one's hard because I just used Divergent. I really shouldn't have, clearly. Book that I used to like but don't anymore. Should be looking at my contemporary stuff, I guess. Gonna have to go with If I Stay by Gail Foreman. I read this book when I was young, like probably grade 6 or 7 again. And I remember really enjoying it, but I know for a fact now I wouldn't enjoy it. Every single time I think about the story, it just makes me very upset and a little bit like sick to my stomach. I don't think I would enjoy reading this story again, ever, to be honest. It's just feels really disturbing to me now whenever I think about it. And I do remember it was a beautiful story, but I feel like I personally would not even think to pick it up anymore, and I actually might end up unhauling this book. And finally, the last question is, what is the newest book on your shelf? I could reach over there, but maybe I'm just gonna stick to my actual shelf. What's the newest book I got on here? Oh, Chain of Iron, probably. I believe the newest book on my shelf is Chain of Iron. I used all of those books already, so I'm not going to use them again. So yeah, once again, if you're not new to this channel, you know how I feel about Chain of Iron. Sorry about the light change. It quickly became my like second favorite Shadowhunter book of all time. I was absolutely obsessed with it, and I still am. I would really love to reread it again this year at some point. But yeah, it looks like we're done the challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I encourage anyone watching to do this challenge if they want. Thank you to Emma Books for creating it. It was so much fun. I had an absolute blast looking through my bookshelf, and I hope this lets you guys get to know me a little bit better as a reader and see a little bit into my life back from when I was younger. I hope to do more videos like this where I get to just reminisce on the past. I really enjoy things like that and making videos like that for you guys. I have always personally felt that they were so interesting and enjoyable to watch, so I do hope that you guys all feel the same way. If you did have fun watching this video, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content whenever I post. And yeah, I will link some of my socials down below if you'd like to follow me on there, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you. Bye.